Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to pay for the wine glass she broke? A few days ago, my girlfriend Trish, not her real name, was cleaning the kitchen windows. In the midst of her cleaning, she accidentally knocked over a dish from the drying rack, and the dish landed on and shattered an expensive wine glass of mine. I say mine because it was given to me by my mother as a Christmas gift last year. The glass retails for around $120. When she told me she had broken the glass by accident, which she was very nervous about because she knew the glass was expensive, we had a discussion, may classify this as an argument, that lasted 3 days, about how it would get replaced and who would pay. After all this talking, she says, gave in, and gave me 40% of the cost to replace the glass. I had initially asked that she replace the glass in full, but after discussion I realized that if we are partners, it would be logical to use the 60-40 calculation we use for everything else. Background. Trish and I have been living together for about a year. When we initially decided to move in together, we decided to split all expenses 60-40% because of our combined income distribution. I make 60% of our gross monthly earnings, she makes 40%. After the initial agreement, Trish has now said she doesn't feel good about the agreement and wants me to give the money back to her. Her reasoning is that A, it was a complete accident, and B, she would never want to buy any wine glasses that expensive, ever again. My argument is that if we are to live together, we are going to be sharing costs, and inevitably things are going to break and need replacing, repairing. I liked this wine glass, again, which was a gift from my mother, and would like to replace it so that we have a matching set once more. More background. I know for a fact that Trish is financially able to reimburse me the 40% and will suffer no undue hardship from the loss of those funds. On the other hand, I am also fully able to replace the glass without it affecting my financial stability. Am I the asshole for asking Trish to reimburse 40% of the wine glass she broke by accident? There's an edit with an update, but first let's discuss. This is tricky. The question I'm asking myself right now is, does the basic rule of you break, you pay apply to a romantic relationship? I think it should apply to most relationships, even close ones, even within families. Like, if I spilled a drink over my sister's laptop, there's no way in hell I wouldn't have to pay for it because we're family or whatever. Is it somehow different in a romantic relationship? I'll be honest, I don't like what he did there. It feels tacky. Let's try to figure out why. Is it because there is this implication of what's mine is yours in a serious relationship? Well, you can have different arrangements as a couple. You can have separate finances, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, must be something else. It's not about gender roles either. I feel like it would have been just as tacky if the roles were reversed. It reminds me of Erich Fromm, who had a lot to say about love in the capitalistic society. According to him, we have this marketplace mentality that we bring into every relationship. We're supposed to approach our relationships with genuine care. You love this person, so you want what's best for them. That doesn't mean you should neglect your own needs, but you also shouldn't be entirely self-centered. And that is exactly what happens when you approach relationships as a consumer, focusing on how much you can get from this relationship and obsessively keeping tabs and worried about somehow being shortchanged, like you're literally in the market. And I'm not sure if this what can I get out of this approach is capitalistic or just human, but it does sound familiar, right, with all of the modern dating complaints that we keep hearing. And it feels like in this relationship, in this story, there's a lot of keeping tabs and not a lot of caring. Both of them approach this with the goal of not losing or minimizing their losses. This is their focus, as opposed to their partner's feelings. And it's not really about money, as both of them have enough, if OP is telling the truth. So I guess both of them are assholes. Let's start with OP's behavior. In theory, I can imagine situations where asking for compensation would be completely fair. Like, let's say they've broken your laptop. And without it, you can't work, you can't function, you can't earn money for a new laptop. So it's a dire situation and you need it resolved ASAP. But let's be clear, a $120 glass is not a necessity. It's not urgent, and it's not critical to your daily life. So if you had a disagreement, it's not like you even had to decide anything immediately. You could just shelve the problem and get back to it around holidays or something. There's literally no need to argue, let alone for 3 days. Now, let's not forget that the girlfriend broke the glass while, washing the windows? Right, cleaning the kitchen windows. So she was taking care of your common space. Question: did you pay her for cleaning the windows? Does she get to charge you since you're charging her for the glass? You see what I mean? There's a lot of unpaid work in a relationship. And your lives are very much intertwined. So if you're gonna charge each other for every action, it's gonna descend into craziness. Now, let's roast the girlfriend. I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, and here's what I don't understand. Having broken something of your partner's, don't you want to make it up to them? Like, yes, I think it's weird that he demanded money from her, but I also think it's weird that she wasn't like, I'm so sorry, let me buy you a new one. Although, by making it up to him, I don't necessarily mean buying a replacement or giving him the money. She could start with a genuine apology or make it up with some extra care, I don't know. But the glass had emotional value, being a gift from his mom, so maybe the way to deal with it could also be emotional. Here's what I'm trying to say. If I were her, I guess I'd ask, what can I do to make it better? And if he said, buy me a new one, I wouldn't have a problem with that. That is, if I had money. And all of that marketplace mentality aside, 60-40 does sound like a fair compromise in this situation. At least OP tried to find some middle ground there, and I think she should have accepted it. She doesn't have valid arguments for backing out. It was a complete accident. And people break other people's stuff by accident all the time, and normally they pay regardless. And I understand not being comfortable around expensive stuff, especially after this accident, but you can't forbid your partner from having nice stuff for the rest of their life, potentially. That said, maybe you shouldn't have expensive glasses if breaking them causes such a drama, because guess what? Glasses break. And you need to be prepared for this possibility, and not spiral your whole relationship because of it. But I also understand the itch of having lost something and needing to replace it. So the verdict is everyone sucks. This is Reddit's verdict and mine as well. The situation was easily resolvable, but both of them made it a matter of principle. Now let's read the update. Edit. It appears that according to popular sentiment, I am the asshole. I have therefore given Trish back her money. Thank you to the commenters that have gentle and thoughtful wisdom on what they believed might be more of the root cause of this argument. I don't think we've been in a good place for a long time, and asking her for money was never about control. I wanted to see her take personal responsibility, because that is what I would have done. For your information, Trish was with me and signed off on this post before I submitted it. She has read all of the comments. After doing so, we now understand that she does not wish to have such nice things, and is worried about being too materialistic, as well as a prison in her own home, having to walk on eggshells in the fear she might break something else. She is also sad that I was not able to show compassion and let it slide. I do struggle with showing empathy and compassion sometimes. And I also agree with the people who have commented on the argument spanning 3 days. It's exhausting for both of us. Life is too short. We have little fights like this all the time, and it's wearing on both of us. It might be time to call it quits. Yeah, I don't think this relationship is beyond repair, but no one seems to want to repair it. So, yeah, time to go your separate ways. Top comment says, Info. Why was a $120 presumably delicate wine glass sitting in or next to a drying rack with regular dishes in the first place? If I had glassware that pricey, it would be washed, dried, and put away after use. I think this is a secondary matter. Had the glass been stored properly, it would have been something else, sooner or later. But one of the responses to this comment really nails it, in my opinion. My spouse is a little clumsy and breaks things sometimes. You know what I did when he broke one of my favorite fancy champagne glasses? I told him I was sad and asked him to be more careful. I also told him that I would be more careful about where I put things, because I know it was a genuine accident, and it's not like you can help being clumsy. And another great one. Yep, and given he's being so precious about this thing that should have been put away somewhere if it's so expensive, she's very right to say that they shouldn't own very expensive wine glasses, if this is going to be his reaction. They can buy cheap wine glasses from IKEA, and he can keep his special glasses locked high away. The situation probably should have gone, the girlfriend apologizes and offers to replace it. And he says that's not necessary because it was an accident, and the glass shouldn't have been on the bench. At least that's what I would do, but I guess OP and his girlfriend are very different to me. Someone puts me to shame by saying I don't understand OP's transactional view of his relationship. And I'm like, transactional. So much of what I've said could be replaced with this one word, if only I remembered it. Another commenter says, You're the asshole. Nickel and diming each other like this doesn't make for a successful relationship. This was an accident. If she had done this on purpose, I could see asking for reimbursement. But this is how you treat a roommate, not a girlfriend. And someone replies, This doesn't sound like a relationship at all. I'm glad we all agree. I was almost done with the comments, but I've just found an alternative opinion. I'm so confused by the asshole votes. Accident or not, your girlfriend broke something that belonged to you. I think it was generous you offered to split the cost with her, not the asshole. Someone responds to that. Because they live together, it was an accident, and it will happen again. Dishes get broken. Stuff gets strained. This is why my expensive glassware is put away for special occasions. We use our cheap stuff regularly. You live and learn. You don't fight with your partner and charge them for it. Not if you want a healthy, happy relationship. It's okay to be annoyed, but I'd never tell my live-in partner, you owe me money for breaking the glass you accidentally broke while cleaning our apartment. Well said, nothing to add here.